All right, so today, supposed to rain again, didn't, so I got around to doing quite a bit of mowing. But what did you find out here in the field?
I found our little vineyard is doing well this year. Our little vineyard is doing well.
So we have grapevines. And look at this.
Baby grapes.
There's little baby grapes. My hands look super awesome. Like I should be a hand model, pretty much. Look at that. Focus.
Man hands.
Look at that. Little baby grapes.
They're all over. We got muscadine and
Look,
all
they're in
kinds
there.
of stuff.
There's some right there. There's some more over there. There's some right there. It's pretty cool. We have some grapes. Welcome. He's losing his mind.
You took his bell off. This is what happens.
Hey guys, welcome back to 15 Days of Sunshine. I'm Tony.
I'm Hillisy.
And we are Tony Travels. So today we got a little bit different video. We're not really giving any actual specific, hey, you're going on a cruise, let's get ready type tip. We're going to go through the Carnival fleet. We are really Carnival people. I know a lot of people cruise different lines. Some people are more loyal to other lines.
And some people go on the same boats over and over again.
Over and over again, right? So we just really like the Carnival environment. We like the ships. We want to try some different ships, but for what we know and for what we have done in our handful of cruises, Carnival has been everything we've desired, as far as price-wise, as far as feature-wise. They're really great ships. So we kind of just wanted to highlight some of the different classes of ships and go through some of the differences between them, size-wise and feature-wise. And so let's get started. Starting with the oldest class of ship that are currently in the Carnival fleet, and that would be the Fantasy Class. So the Fantasy Class, it has the Fantasy, the Ecstasy, the Sensation, the Fascination, the Imagination, the Inspiration, the Elation, and the Paradise.
I feel like they threw that one in.
Yeah, it was an afterthought. But yeah, sometimes ships get renamed, but yeah, it was not renamed. It was originally Paradise. Now all those ships that all those names, they used to be just the names. So it used to be just Paradise, Inspiration, Fascination. Now it's Carnival Paradise. So they were renamed, but they all pretty much kept their names. So those are 70,000-ish gross ton ships that hold around 2,100 passengers. So pretty decent sized ship. A lot of them have gotten upgrades where they've gotten some aft balconies added on. I think most of them have the 2.0 upgrades with guys burgers and stuff like that. So there's some good ships. Those are the smallest in the fleet, but they still are really good ships. They go out of some of the ports like Jacksonville and Tampa where there's restrictions. Like in Tampa, they have to have smaller ships go out of Tampa because it's got to go under this. It's got to be short enough to fit under the Sunshine Skyway. So they're kind of restricted on the size of the ship, so you can go there. So it's good to have that option to have the smaller ships so they can reach more people.
And I would imagine the prices are usually cheaper on the smaller ships, and they might not go as far. So
they go on shorter duration. I know the Paradise specifically was the first ships to take cruises to Cuba. They take little short 4-day trips to Cuba, but so that's pretty cool. They got a specific itinerary. But yeah, the smaller ships are going to normally go some shorter itineraries, but be maybe more cost effective. So the next class of ships is the Destiny Class, which really the only original Destiny Class ship is the Sunshine. It used to be called the Carnival Destiny, but when it got all its upgrades, it got renamed the Sunshine because it's basically a brand new ship.
Yeah.
It got Havana Bar and all the two restaurants in the back, Cucina del Capitano and Gigi Alchemy Bar. It really got all those upgrades first. They redid the theater with the movable seats in the center, kind of like the Vista and the Horizon have, which we're not really fans of. I don't really like that setup, but hey, we'll see if we like the Sunshine's version of it a little bit different. So I think what happened is they did that and they added those features to kind of test them out for these new ships before Vista and Horizon Panorama came out. Like when they were designing those were seems like those were some ideas that they had that they were like, okay, let's put them all on this ship and kind of see how they work.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's got a ropes course. It's got the slides in the back of the ship. So it's got a lot of really cool features for an older boat, which came out in 1996. And going from the Fantasy class up to the Sunshine, the Destiny class, it jumps from 70,000 tons to 102,000 tons.
I was wondering.
Yeah, so it holds like 900 more passengers. It can hold around 3,000 passengers. And so it's quite a jump from the Fantasy class to the Destiny class. So there's two other Destiny class ships, the Triumph and the Victory, which are called modified Destiny class because they have two more decks that the Destiny/Sunshine doesn't have. But they're actually a little bit smaller tonnage wise. They're only 101,000 tons instead of 102,000 tons. And they hold about 300 less people. They hold 2,700 versus 3,000 on the Sunshine. So that's those. So the next step up is actually a step down. The Spirit class is the next class of ships. They include the Spirit, the Pride, the Legend, and the Miracle. They're actually 88,500 gross tons. So they're actually a little bit smaller ship.
I've not heard of some of them. I don't think I've ever heard of the Miracle.
And they go back down to around 2,100 passengers.
Oh.
So they jumped up to 3,000 with Sunshine, 2,700 with those other two Destiny class ships. So then they're back down to 2,100 with the Spirit class ships, 2,100 passengers approximately. So these ships were actually built to what they call the Panamax form factor. So they were built specifically that they would fit through the Panama Canal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
So that's why they're a little bit smaller, but they're built to be able to fit through the Panama Canal, which now the canal is a little bit wider, but like some of the bigger ships, they can't even fit through the new canal. So, but the Spirit class ships, there are some good ships. I've heard a lot of good things about the Pride. It goes out of Baltimore. The Spirit and the Legend both go like between Australia. The Spirit is just in Australia. Legend goes back and forth between Australia and doing like Hawaii type, Alaska type cruises. And then the Miracle is out of Tampa again. So that's another Tampa ship. The next step up, which is we're actually taking a step up in size, is the Conquest class. We went on one of these. We went on the Conquest. So you got the Conquest, the Glory, the Valor, the Liberty, and the Freedom.
I've been on the Glory.
You've been on the Glory?
I have, yes. I like the Conquest better, but...
And they'll hold 2,980, about 3,000 passengers. So they were all built in the early 2000s. Some of them actually alongside some of the Spirit class ships. So there were a few of the Spirit class ships that came out like in 2002. Conquest actually came out in 2002. Glory in 2003. And then Valor and Miracle, which is a Spirit class ship, both came out in 2004. So there's some overlap there. They were still doing some of the Spirit class ships whenever they started putting out the Conquest ships. So that's pretty cool. So the first cruise that we went on together was on the Dream, and they're pretty big ships, second behind the Vista Class ships. But the thing that we really liked about the Conquest, better than even the Dream, was that the deck, the open deck, where they have like Seaside Theater and the pool and everything, it's like staggered, like almost like stadium seating up the different levels. So when you like go to watch a movie, you don't have to either sit on the bottom level where the theater is or around the railing on the upper levels, because you can spread out, right?
Yeah, you can stagger, and then if people are walking and not paying attention to the fact that people are watching a movie, you can still see over them. It's great, and there's little hot tubs in between too, so like they're raised up a little bit. It's neat.
Yeah, so
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool design on that, and gives you more access to the visually to the pool deck. The next class is really just one ship, the Splendor. So the Splendor came out in 2008, and it's 3,012 passengers, but it's all by itself. There is no other Splendor class ships, and that's because Splendor was originally designed and even built for Costa Cruise Lines. So Costa has 5 sister ships to Splendor. So it has some different features and stuff like that are no other Carnival ships, because it was originally built for Costa.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then they transitioned it over as a Carnival ship. So it's the sister ship to the Costa Concordia, which actually like capsized. Like it ran aground. Yeah, the Costa Concordia, the Serena, Pacifica, Favolosa, and Fascinosa. Anyways, so that's why we don't have any other Splendor ships, because it was kind of a one-off. I don't know really the story behind how that happened. So that would be something cool for you guys to look up and see.
Yeah.
Why did Carnival take one of Costa's ships? Maybe they decided they didn't want all 6 or something. But for some reason, there's a Costa ship, and it's the Carnival Splendor.
I wonder how different it is inside.
I don't know, maybe one to think, because it's larger than the Conquest. The Conquest ships are 110,000 gross tons. It's 113, so it's a little bit larger than the Conquest ships. Then going right on up the line, we have the Dream Class ships, which are the Dream, the Breeze, and the Magic. I know those without even having to look.
Right.
Because we've been on the Dream. We're going on the Magic, and then the Breeze is actually, when we get back like on the 29th of September on the Magic, and that's its last cruise from Port Canaveral. It's repositioning to Miami, and then it's repositioning again in like May up to Fort Lauderdale. And taking its place is the Breeze. The Breeze is coming from Galveston, and it's going to go out of Port Canaveral, which is another Dream Class ship, so we can go and we'll have all the Dream Class ships under our belt.
So is it going to drop us off and then leave?
Yeah, so it's... so I believe what's happening is whenever we get in on September 29th, I believe, maybe the 28th.
That's my birthday.
Okay, so we get back on the 29th, which is a Saturday. They drop us off, and then they just cruise right down from Port Canaveral down there to Miami. And then on Sunday, the cruises start on the Magic from Miami.
Oh, wow.
So they leave out of Miami on Sunday. So that's pretty cool. We'll be on the last cruise that the Magic takes out of Port Canaveral. The Dream Class ships are 128,000 gross tons, and they hold about 3,600 passengers, so about 600 more than the previous most, which was about 3,100.
Yeah.
Finally, you have the Vista Class. So the Vista Class right now includes the Vista and Horizon. Soon it'll include the Panorama as well. They're just a little bit bigger ship, really, than the Dream Class. They're 133,000 gross tons as opposed to 128,000. But they hold 300 more passengers, so 3,900 passengers. And they include all the latest features. They've got IMAX, they've got the Skyride, the ropes course, everything. Loaded out.
The IMAX. I love it because it was so bizarre. Because the boat was really there wasn't a lot of rocking when we were there too, and I forgot I was on a boat.
Yeah.
Because it's dark and it looks just like an IMAX inside, and you walk out and then suddenly you're in the hallway of a ship. It's neat.
One of the big differences on the Vista Class ships: no atrium, no big tall atrium, no glass elevators.
But I didn't miss it.
Some pretty big changes, but You know, some people don't like that, but I really liked it.
They kind of had that double thing though, like where, because you know they've got that big tall column in the entry, but then in the casino there's another one.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought that was neat.
Yep. And there's one more class of ship that are still a mystery. Carnival has announced, and they've actually put in an order for 2 more ships. 2020 and 2022 are when those ships will come out. They are 180,000 gross tons. So they're jumping from 133,000 gross tons to 180.
Oh, wow.
So that's 50,000 tons different. That's like jumping from like a Spirit class ship or even a Fantasy class ship, which are, you know, the smallest ship up to what the Vista is now, or what the Dream is. You know, that's about 50,000 gross tons. That's what these 2 ships are going to be.
That's so cool.
They'll be 50,000 gross tons larger. So basically, pretty much a Fantasy class added in, like, because there's 70,000 gross tons. So I can't wait to see some new information on those and see what those are going to be. Those will be massive, massive ships. So that's really exciting. Yeah, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this little
overview
of the different classes of ships. I know we didn't really give you guys a bunch of tips or anything today, but you know, we just kind of wanted to kind of go through the different ships and show that, you know, the difference in the size and how in the last 20 years how cruising has changed. It's become, you know, a lot more competitive as far as businesses go. It's become more like with the larger ships, it's just become you know, a race to see who can build a bigger ship, have more features, and so it's better for the consumers because you know, with the competition comes competitive pricing, but also we get all these cool features. So, so I'm excited for our cruises. I'm excited for what's to come with the Carnival ships and just cruising in general. It's very exciting to think about. You know, it's on the up. It's, you know. It's a very popular vacation.
Yeah. And we want to know your favorite ships. I'm curious if you have a favorite that you just like so much you go on over and over. I think so far the Vista is my favorite.
Yep.
But I have high expectations for the Sunshine. So I
prefer the larger ships, but I prefer them on longer trips. You know, that way you have more stops, you have more sea days, you have more time to explore the ship. Because you know, especially like on the Vista, there's so much going on.
Yes.
You needed all those days and we still didn't go to the spa and really didn't spend much time in Serenity.
And I only rode the Skyride once. So, it was too busy, so yeah.
So, you know, what do you guys think? Do you like shorter cruises, longer cruises, big ships, little ships? You know, what's your opinion? So leave us a comment down below. Like the video if you liked the video. And also please subscribe to us if you like the type of videos we make. That way you can keep up with us. And you'll be notified, if you hit the little bell, you'll be notified whenever we put out new videos. That way you can, you know, follow along with us on our journey and join our little crew. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a special on the road edition of 15 Days Till Sunshine. Bye-bye.
Bye.